And we're live.
It means that I'm looking out for my people's best interest. The United States does that all the fucking time. We've been doing it since we've been a country. We see an issue somewhere, a democratically elected leader who wants to sell his mineral rights to someone else, or who wants to nationalize his mineral rights, something like that. Wants those corporations out of there. No need for you fucking taking our coal, our uranium, our diamonds. We decide here in this country where coal, diamonds, and uranium go. And maybe, just maybe, we decide they go to the Soviet Union. Well, the United States just pulls a few little strings here and there, and all of a sudden a whole bunch of French Foreign Legions show up, and Jadotville, and we end up funding a miniature battle between them and Irish UN troops. And then when the whole thing's over, we disgrace the Irishmen who fought valiantly, defending against incredible odds at Jadotville, and we say that they were cowards and that they deserted. When they fought so hard, they killed dozens, if not hundreds, of the enemy and didn't lose a single man. It's just bullshit hypocrisy for us to even go into that thing. By the way, if you want to see a good movie, go on Netflix and watch Jadotville. It's a good documentary. Jodotville. Yeah, true story.
I'll check that out. That does sound interesting.
I was wondering if it was a true story as he was going along. Like, these sound like specific events. So Matt or Kyle just adds a lot of detail to his random
scenarios. I was going to say, if this isn't a true story, you're really passionate about this film.
This is a strong hypothetical.
You really care about their well-being. And I'm surprised that you were defending the Irish right there. You're really, you know what? I'd call you pretty progressive right now.
Let me tell you what, like for real, what happened was, like, these Irishmen had never been in combat. They were completely untested, and
you don't do nothing.
You don't do fucking nothing. You don't have any ammunition. And so they decided that the Irish would be the ones to go down to, God, what fucking country was it? Was it the Congo? The African country is immaterial, but we're going to say it's the Congo. But basically what happened was you had a democratically elected leader who wanted to nationalize the mineral and natural resources, which means he wanted to make the coal, the Congo's coal. And again, might not be the Congo. He wanted to make the uranium, the Congo's uranium. And thereby the country would decide who they sell to and for what price. Prior to then, you had the corporations in there really just stripping the country of its wealth and leaving them with very little. This man, who was democratic elected, kidnapped by a general, shot in the fucking head. General takes over, cuts out a big section of the Congo, says, "This is a new country. I am the president of it. You deal with me now." The United Nations takes him fucking seriously. They send the head of the UN down there. He shoots their fucking plane down and kills the head of the UN. This general does. Meanwhile, there's this whole contingent of like 175 roughly Irishmen who have been sent down there to keep the peace. Well, while they're trying to like work this whole coup out and try to stabilize things, they sent the UN supported forces are doing things like taking control of radio stations and positions of power and communication. They have a little snafu. There's a bunch of guys in a radio station that they think are armed, so they lob grenades in and kill like 30 civilians or something like that. The French get a call from some of these corporations who are in the interest, whose interest is, selling uranium to the United States instead of the Soviet Union. And they say, "Hey, where do you want your uranium to go? To the Soviet Union or the U.S.? Send me 1,000 of your best." So they send the French Foreign Legion there, battle-hardened, world-traveled, hardcore mercenaries to join up with the local militia of Congolese contingencies, and they have this standoff between them and the 175 or so, whatever the number was, Irishmen at this little mission outpost, 500. Barely defendable, 500, called Jadotville. They didn't lose a single man. They fought for several days.
What year was this?
I'm
61.
I don't know, 7. Okay.
Yeah, 61.
Okay. That sounds like a really cool story.
It's a good movie. Good movie. Check it out. It's a lot of shooting. They got a cool sniper on the team. The boss is like, "Can you get that guy way over there?" He's like, "If I use the Bren gun and do it single shot, I can." And the Bren gun is like this big fucking crazy machine gun that's like mounted. and it's normally like belt fed or is it mag fed? I've never shot a Bren gun. I think it's mag. And so and it's like he fucking opens it up, takes one bullet and sticks it in there, slams it shut. He's just and just kills this guy like 800 yards away. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Wow.
The gun stuff was pretty good.
Siege at Jadotville.
I felt terrible for the Irishmen though, because they were disgraced in the end. You know, the UN lied, Ireland lied, you know, and they couldn't tell the truth about the heroic things they had done to
that's
to hide
bullshit.
what happened. Yeah, it only came out like in 2009, 2010, somewhere in there, that these guys were like recognized as like heroes and given medals.
So
and
long
awards.
after they were dead, like posthumous medals, basically. They didn't get
And
their
they're-
credit.
Wow.
in their 50s and 60s because they were young
Oh.
soldiers. You know what I mean? 70s maybe. Yeah,
Well, at least they got some credit in the end. A couple of them.
I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, good
Still
movie.
not great.
Pretty,
I'm gonna watch them.
I just
Yeah, I'm
scanned the
definitely gonna check
Wikipedia
that out.
article while Kyle was explaining it. Pretty much on target. The 500 Irishmen. The attackers had about 4,000 people, but they attacked in waves of like 600 or so. And but they had a hardened position, and they just fought off wave after wave.
Yeah, their commander was completely untested, but he was a student of warfare. You know, he studied all the great battles, whether it was the Napoleon's tactics or Genghis Khan or reading Sun Tzu. And so immediately when he got there, you know, all of his men want to like relax. He's like, start digging trenches. We got to entrench. We got to harden our positions. We got to have fallback points. We got to have warning signals. We need a lookout, man. Like, and he could even sense. There's this really hardcore scene where like the leader of the Irishmen meets up with the leader of the French Foreign Legion mercenaries in like a bar, and they like share like a little glass of cognac while both making these sort of like underhanded remarks that have a lot of heavy meaning to them. It's good movie.
I was wondering why they surrendered. Like I scanned for it, and they didn't surrender until they ran out of ammo and food, and they almost ran out of water. So that
Yeah,
seems
it's
like
crazy.
an
I was looking at
acceptable
the-
reason. Like if
I
you're
was
out
looking
of
at the
ammo,
casualties and losses.
And
It
the
says-
men didn't want to surrender. The men were like,
let's go Conor McGregor on him.
Let's fucking go. Come on.
Yeah, it says on the
Wanna
Irish side.
Take out the
they were-
Congolese with a series of lefts.
Yeah, you gotta watch that Irish left. It's a monster.
It says on the Irish side there were 5 wounded and 1 transport destroyed and 1 helicopter destroyed, and then on the other side it was 300 dead and over 1,000 wounded.
Yeah, the enemy had a fucking
Great.
fighter jet. The enemy
The
had a
Congolese
fighter
are
jet
like
flying over,
surprised
chasing them.
at Ireland because they don't know anything about it. Like, I do not know where Ireland is, but it must be a terrible place. People thank you to
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
watched
God.
that a while. Yeah, check that out if you like war stuff. You know, it's not top tier. It's not Saving Private Ryan, but it's good.
Oh, it's a 2016 film.
Yeah, it's
Check it out.
Netflix.
Yeah,
It's a Netflix
2016.
original. Like
Oh,
Netflix
okay.
made that. Yeah, it's good.
In my mind's eye, it was like, you know, black and white and real shitty acting and
Ah.
like,
The opposite of that. You'll recognize quite a few actors. You know, supporting role type actors. You know, the Irishmen have a couple of them have those big cool mustaches, and they all got good accents, and they handle the weapons quite well. And it's a, you know, you feel for the whole situation. Good movie. Check it out.